There was a man once who had everything: wealth, power, influence. He advised emperors, shaped the course of Rome, yet he knew, better than anyone, how easily it could all be taken away. His name was Seneca. And one day that moment came. He sat in his villa, a letter in his hands, an order from Emperor Nero. It wasn't a request. It was a death sentence. No trial, no appeal, just the cold reality of betrayal. And how did Seneca respond? Did he rage? Did he curse the gods? No, he simply accepted, because Seneca understood something most people never do. Anger is a trap. It makes you believe you're in control when, in reality, it controls you. And once you see it for what it is, you can step out of its grip forever. The question is, do you have that level of control, or does anger still dictate your life? By the end of this, you'll see anger differently, and once you do, there's no going back. Part 1. The Illusion of Justified Anger. Seneca once wrote about a powerful Roman general, feared, respected, undefeated in battle. One day, in a fit of rage, he ordered the execution of a soldier for a minor mistake. The next morning, regret hit him like a blade to the chest. The soldier was gone, and no amount of power, no decree, no prayer could undo it. His anger had won, and in doing so had made him weak. People think anger is a sign of strength, Seneca warned, but it is the surest proof of a feeble mind. The strongest man in the world, consumed by a moment's fury, had lost everything: his honor, his men's respect, and his own peace of mind. Now ask yourself, when has anger ever truly helped you? Has yelling at traffic ever cleared the road? Has snapping at someone ever made them respect you more? Has firing off that angry text ever solved the problem? The truth is, anger tricks you. It makes you feel powerful in the moment, but in reality, it chains you to the past, to whatever slight, whatever injustice you felt, and worse, it blinds you to what matters. Seneca's answer? Delay. The greatest remedy for anger is delay, he wrote, because the first wave of rage is always the strongest, and if you can outlast it, you've already won half the battle. The general who hesitated that night would have woken up with a soldier still alive, and his own peace intact. When anger rises, don't react. Wait. Breathe. Walk away. Because the man who controls his temper, that's the man who truly holds power. If this resonates with you, make sure to like, share and subscribe to Level Stoic channel. Stick around, we're just getting started. Part 2. Control your first reaction, the pause technique. Seneca once told a story about a powerful Roman senator who was publicly insulted. The man, red-faced with rage, stormed home and immediately wrote a furious letter demanding revenge. But before sending it, he showed it to a friend. The friend read it, looked up and said, "You should wait until tomorrow to send this." By morning, the senator reread his own words and ripped the letter to shreds. That night, he had been ready to destroy a man's career over a single insult, but after a pause, he saw the truth. His anger wasn't worth it. Seneca compared anger to fire. At first, it's just a spark, small, harmless, but left unchecked it spreads fast, destroying everything in its path. One outburst, one reckless decision, and suddenly you're dealing with the fallout of something that could have been avoided. So how do you stop the wildfire? You pause. When anger flares up, don't react right away. Take a breath, count to 5, step away if you have to. That single pause could be the difference between handling the situation wisely or making a mistake you can't take back. Think about it. How many fights, regrets, and broken friendships could have been avoided if someone had just taken a second to cool down? The first reaction is almost always the worst one. It's pure emotion, no logic. But if you wait, just for a moment, your mind catches up. You see clearly, you stay in control, and that's real power. Part 3. Spot the traps that trigger you. Why do we get angry? Most of the time it's because things don't go our way. We expect people to act a certain way, and when they don't, we snap. Someone cuts you off in traffic. You think, how dare they? Your boss sends a rude email. They should respect me. A stranger insults you. They have no right. But here's the truth. Nobody promised the world would play by your rules. Seneca believed most anger comes from unmet expectations. We assume people will be fair, kind, or logical. But why? Humans are flawed. They make mistakes. They act selfishly. That's life. So instead of reacting, try this. Question your expectations. Ask yourself, was I really owed respect? Did I expect people to be perfect? The answer is usually no. And when you stop expecting perfection, you stop being disappointed. Seneca put it best. What need is there to weep over parts of life? The whole of it calls for tears. Translation: life is unfair. Always has been, always will be. The sooner you accept that, the less power anger has over you. Part 4. Build an anger-proof mindset. Anger isn't something you fix once and forget about. It's a habit. And like any habit, you can train yourself to control it. Seneca had a simple but powerful method, a nightly review. Before bed, take a moment to look back on your day. Ask yourself, what made me angry today? Did I react the way I wanted to? Could I have handled it better? The goal isn't to beat yourself up, it's to learn. The more you reflect, the more patterns you'll notice. You'll start to see what triggers you and how to stop anger before it takes over. At first, you might only catch it after the fact. But over time, something changes. You'll feel anger rising and think, wait, I've seen this before. And instead of reacting, you'll pause, you'll breathe, you'll make a better choice. That's the power of self-awareness. It's your best defense against anger. Because once you understand how it works, it stops controlling you. You control it. Anger isn't just an emotion, it's a habit. But like any habit, it can be unlearned. Seneca's blueprint is simple. Pause before reacting, question what really triggered you, and reflect on your progress every day. Do this consistently, and anger loses its grip on you. Now, here's what I want to know. Which of these strategies do you think will help you the most? Will you start pausing before reacting, or maybe questioning your expectations? Drop your answer in the comments. If you want to sharpen your instincts and spot the people who shouldn't be in your circle, you need to watch this next. In 9 Types of People You Should Never Trust, we break down Marcus Aurelius's wisdom on deception, manipulation, and the red flags you can't ignore. Don't wait until it's too late. Click here and level up your judgment.